Alright guys, so it's an update on the RetroPie project. It's time for a trial run, and you can see all these parts everywhere. This is 6 months accumulation of parts. So here we have an unassuming little case, waterproof. Pop the bad boy open, and look at that 3D printed stuff. You have the screen frame, you have the super slick cover. I like how it matches. Take the top off. Ooh, it's so slick. And we have all the components. We have a Raspberry Pi and an Atari 2600 case, a Super Famicom controller that we will be powering on, Bluetooth by the way, Bluetooth speaker. We also have a lithium-ion 3700 milliamp battery powering up a 1000 power boost microcontroller, which is going to power the Pi, and the Adafruit 5-inch TFT screen. We got some cable management going on with the HDMI. So let's go ahead and flip this bad boy on and see what happens. LEDs. So you got the screen booting up here. Let's see how it goes. There's usually a pretty slick intro. There you go, you can see a little better. Woo, that darkened up a lot of the surrounding. But you can tell it's booting up just fine. It had a little under voltage when it starts up there. It draws a ton of current when it initially starts up. I think it draws like 1500 milliamps, and the power boost is only rated for 1000. That is loud. A little less loud. Check that out. So you can get a better screen. All kinds of games. Everywhere. So many. Let's throw on some Aladdin. And here we go, we're booting into Aladdin on a Super Nintendo emulator, wirelessly. Can't deny that's super slick. Give you a little teaser here. And then, you know, I'm bored of the game. Maybe I'll go back to Emulation Station. Oh yeah, it plays little kind of like side screens there. Scum VM. I recommend a keyboard for this. All kinds of cool games. You want something cool? Check it out. It's fully portable. And then when we get done, we just go down here, shut the bad boy down, and it'll blank the screen out, and that's how you know it's time to go ahead and turn off the power switch, which cuts the power to the lithium-ion battery so it's not constantly draining. And you might be asking, how do you charge this? Right there, micro USB. Plug that bad boy in, charge it up, you're good to go for another 3 hours. Pretty slick. Alright guys, so I kind of wanted to show you here a little bit how I made this RetroCade system. So here we have the RetroPie logo, and I did this all in Fusion 360. And this was just basically a front case cover that I was going to try and do. Might still go with something like that for the cover of this case, but this was just a very basic thing. And over here, this was for version 1 of the RetroPie. It was kind of like a really basic kind of cable management. And again, RetroPie logo, some cutouts. I had a DVI cord, an aux cord, and some power cords going to the screen. And then over here, we had some switches that would turn things on and off. I then went to this, as you see, Pi Screen version 18. So I transferred, this is the screen that I originally had. It was the official Raspberry Foundation 7-inch TFT monitor. And again, you can see the little HDMI or the DVI slot I cut, an aux cord, power cord slot. And this was the original box insert that I had going on here. I still kind of kept that design. And then over here we had some tables, and those were just basically, this was for a power switch and this was to place the Pi on. It was very crude, very rudimentary, and this is what I had for a while. But basically all these were just sketched up in Fusion 360, extruded, cut, all that fun stuff as well. Over here is the design that I really wanted to go with. I wanted more of an insert that was more stable. So I decided to come up with this, use the original design, took out that cutout, and I kind of, you see a top-down view here, kind of made both these compartments the same, and then left this little space here for batteries, electronics, what have you. Very basic. And then you can see I kind of split it in half into two bodies here. You got box left, box right, and that was just because my print bed is not big enough for this. This is just over 9 inches. So I split it, and then to align it better, I designed these little keyways into there so it'd be a little easier to put together when it came time. I didn't want to use any screws for this, I just wanted to kind of glue it. So then I decided, well, I'm going to need a different type of lid to kind of keep this stuff stable, because the lid has a depth to it on top and I don't want it bouncing around. So let me turn these off real quick. Turn on lid and lid. So this is my sketch here. I basically just took the same dimensions of the box and just made a plane and created it. I cut these out so you could lift it up, make it a little easier. And then all these are just SVGs. If you go down here, you see all my different sketches, a billion sketches. You see my timeline. It's a mess. It's a mess. But that's what a work in progress is. So all these are just sketches that are, you know, cut, extruded into the actual piece itself, and then printed. It's about a, I think it's about an 1/8 inch thick. So you can see I've had a lot of work going into this, and it's on version 20. That's 20, guys. That's how many times I've redone it, printed out a couple times, didn't like it, changed this or that. That's the beauty of 3D printing right here. So then we were asking, you know, how am I going to mount this thing? Well, originally with the original Pi screen from the Raspberry Foundation, I just screwed through the back of the lid into the screen posts themselves, and I didn't really like that. It was kind of wobbly. So I designed this. I wanted a repeatable solution, repeatable mounting solution. So from here, we'll look at the top-down view again. You got these 4 little posts hanging out here. And what they're doing is that's where you're going to mount the 5-inch TFT screen from Adafruit. They'll go in here. These are all M2.5 holes because that's what the Adafruit screen uses. And then these holes on the sides are M3 screw holes. And you might be thinking, well, that's weird. Why would you have a screw hole on the top? This isn't particularly to mount this to anything. What I did was I slot this in here. I mounted the screen on, made sure it looked good, and then I actually tapped my own holes straight through the lid into this itself to actually hold it. I might go in, sketch, and reprint some holes later, but it's easy enough if you got a drill. And the reason I did that is because I made a new frame for the screen. So you can see that the frame is covering up all the unwanted, cables and everything behind it. So you're going to screw it in with M3 screws onto it. And that's the reason I wanted this frame. It sits in there perfectly square. That way it's repeatable. You don't have to guess and re-drill and re-tap. You put this in here, you mount the screen in, then you go ahead and you put on this screen, test it out, make sure it fits. Once you know it fits, go ahead and tap that bad boy down, and you are good to go. And even this, version 10. 10 revisions, guys. 10! And again, did the same thing with the keyways here. That way you can line it up, make sure you got left is left, right is right, and you're all good. So that's basically how I designed this in a nutshell. It's been 6 months to design this, guys, but I'm finally happy with it. Alright guys, so that's the update on the RetroPie project. I am super excited to get this video out to you for you guys to check it out. It's been a crazy, long, frustrating, challenging 6 months trying to get this thing to work, but it's working, it's awesome, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So until next time, catch you later guys.